This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Gary Lane. Today is Friday, December 19th. We begin this half hour in Sydney, Australia, where authorities say they moved quickly to prevent another possible violent attack. This as the country continues to process last weekend's deadly terror assault on Bondi Beach. CBN's Joshua Swanson has more on our top story from Jerusalem.
Australian police arrested 7 men in Sydney Thursday after receiving intelligence of a potential violent act.
About 4 p.m. yesterday, following information from our law enforcement partners, the New South Wales Police Force Tactical Operations Unit conducted 2 high-risk vehicle stops on 2 Victorian registered cars in the Liverpool area. 7 males from those vehicles were taken into custody.
State and federal investigators are examining the case.
Whilst the specific threat posed by the males is unknown, I can say that the potential of a violent offence being committed was such that we were not prepared to tolerate the risk and interdicted accordingly.
The arrests come just days after the terror attack at a Hanukkah festival at Bondi Beach that left 15 people dead. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced a national response to honour the victims and support the Jewish community.
Today I confirm that the federal and New South Wales governments have declared Sunday, 21st of December, a day of reflection to honour the victims of the horrific terrorist attack at Bondi Beach and to stand in solidarity with the Jewish community.
In Washington, the United States announced new sanctions on 2 International Criminal Court judges. Secretary of State Marco Rubio laying out the administration's response to the court's move to seek arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and then Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The sanctions include freezing U.S. assets and barring entry into the United States. The ICC responded by calling the move a flagrant attack on the court's independence. President Donald Trump said he expects to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Florida over the holiday.
We've had great success, peace in the Middle East, aside from everything else. We now have peace in the Middle East. Yeah, he'll probably come to see me in Florida.
And the IDF carried out strikes across multiple areas in Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah military compounds, weapons storage, and launch sites. The military said the sites are for planning attacks against Israeli forces and civilians, and in direct violation of the ceasefire. Joshua Swanson, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Back here at home, the Trump administration is moving to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. President Trump has signed an executive order paving the way for the F.D.A. to study its medical uses. He called it a common-sense move. As CBN Washington correspondent Jenna Browder reports, there are concerns it could also increase its recreational use.
The Trump administration is moving to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug.
Today I'm pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule I to a Schedule III controlled substance with legitimate medical uses.
Prior to this executive order, marijuana was in the same class category as heroin, ecstasy, and LSD. Now it's in the same class of drugs like Tylenol and anabolic steroids.
We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain.
Changing the classification eases regulatory hurdles to study marijuana's medical uses, potentially making it more available to people suffering from pain. President Trump stressing this is not about recreational use.
I want to emphasize that the order I am about to sign is not the legalization, or it doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form, and in no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with that.
Backlash to the order has been swift. A group of Republican House members sent a letter to President Trump urging him to reconsider. They say the move sends the wrong message to young people, enables drug cartels, and jeopardizes road safety. Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council, agrees, telling CBN News the move is troubling.
It seems to be that the administration has kind of an incoherent policy when it comes to drugs. I mean, we have a hot war on drugs where we have members of our military, our troops, are lighting up these drug traffickers. They're blowing up their boats in the Caribbean. But here we're telling kids it's okay to light up and smoke a joint.
Perkins believes this order is about more than just helping people in pain.
If you look at the executive order, it's not only about medical use and research, but if you look at it, it's also to allow banking institutions to be able to do transactions in marijuana. Bottom line, I think this is more about the economy and money than it is about the health and well-being of people.
Marijuana use among young people reached historic levels in recent years, daily use outpacing daily drinking, with nearly 18 million Americans reporting they used marijuana every day or nearly every day in 2022. That's up from less than 1 million 3 decades ago. And studies show a corresponding increase in cannabis use disorder.
Looking at our admission diagnoses here at the Center for Youth and Young Adults, so that's about 12, 13 to 25. And what we found was that people being admitted to our treatment center over the last 10 years, the number with a cannabis use disorder diagnosis increased 15%.
In terms of side effects, marijuana can cloud memory, deepen anxiety or depression, and trigger addiction. It's also thought to be especially dangerous for anyone with genetic risk factors to psychotic diseases like schizophrenia. And at the signing, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. acknowledged many of these risks, but said to date most of the evidence has been anecdotal because up until now they haven't been able to do scientific research. Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Now to the latest on the Brown University shooting. A man suspected of killing 2 students and wounding 9 others has been found dead in a New Hampshire storage facility. The man, 48-year-old Claudio Neves Valente, who died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, is a former Brown University student and Portuguese national. Police believe he is the person responsible for the university shooting and the killing of a Massachusetts Institute of Technology professor who was shot at his home on Monday. A motive is currently unknown. Well, coming up, Charlie Kirk's impact continues to grow, even after his death. His pastor shares the reasons why. Stay with us. You're watching CBN NewsWatch. Despite being cut short by an assassin's bullet, Charlie Kirk's impact continues to grow. His last book, Stop in the Name of God, talks about a profound change in his life that took place while on a visit to Israel. CBN's Paul Petit spoke to Kirk's pastor to learn more.
It's an amazing book. Charlie was so excited about it being published. I was with him in Korea when they gave him the last thing he had to sign off on, and it changed him in a profound way.
Before his death, Charlie Kirk spoke of how his most favorite trip was to Israel. Pastor Rob McCoy says a major reason is that Charlie learned the importance of keeping the Sabbath.
He was at a place where it was a crisis that he just had so much to do, and beware of the barrenness of a busy life. And reaching out to one of his pastor friends, just commenting to him, David Engelhardt, who is on the board at Turning Point. And David said, have you ever considered taking a Sabbath?
The Sabbath, or as they call it here in Israel, Shabbat.
You know, Shabbat is the kingdom of heaven's deepest secret, but has been hidden in plain sight. It's right there from Genesis 1.
Keeping the Sabbath holy is also the fourth commandment. Across much of Israel, daily activity basically stops from sundown Friday until sundown Saturday. In many Jewish homes, like the Ben Davids here in Galilee, Sabbath dinner is prepared, candles are lit, and the bread and wine is blessed.
You approach it with great holiness and great reverence, and you acknowledge that God is our provider.
And Charlie started to research that and go into it. And so he would just turn off his phone, be with his family.
Focusing on family is a key part of the Sabbath.
Blessed to be a blessing all the days of our life. So you go through this procession, blessing your wife, singing Proverbs 31 over your wife. It's a time to honor her. It's a beautiful thing. Then we get to bless the children.
When the sun sets in Israel on Friday, the feast begins. Shabbat Saturday is all about rest, no driving, no working, and no electronics.
There's a pattern in the Bible, and if we follow it, we will enter that rest. That's why Hebrews 4:12 says there still remains a rest for the people of God.
But according to Kirk's pastor, Charlie was getting very little rest, traveling, hosting multiple programs, answering hundreds of emails nonstop on little rest. That's why McCoy says when the Kirks started observing the Sabbath like they do here in Israel, all that changed.
Turn your phone off for one day. No contact, no social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically.
And he saw Sabbath for the man, not man for the Sabbath. So it wasn't legalistic for him, but it was this idea of stopping and resting, being with God.
And he says, whoever honors me, I will honor. And Shabbat is honoring him.
So he got it. And that inspired him, especially when he saw the work that Dennis Prager was doing. And then he wrote the book, and that was now being published posthumously. It was his, magnum opus, so to speak. Stop in the Name of God.
Paul Petit, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Charlie Kirk's book, Stop in the Name of God, is available wherever books are sold. Still ahead, the true spirit of winning. Meet the girls' basketball team that made headlines by giving their district trophy to the opposing team. From politics to sports, today's culture often pushes the concept of winning at all costs. One high school girls' basketball team is demonstrating the opposite. John Jessup brings us their story from Oklahoma City.
Grit, grind, and heart. Ingredients that led the Lady Griffins varsity team to clinch their first championship earlier this year. Days later, they'd make history again.
Usually in the world of high school sports, it's an exceptional display of athleticism that catches the public attention. Last season on this very court, it was an unusual display of good sportsmanship that drew national headlines.
I just needed to know in my heart for certain that we were the champions so that I could sleep that night.
After reviewing the game video and twice tallying the score, Coach Brendan King confirmed his team lost by 1 point. A scorekeeping mix-up gave the Griffins a 1-point advantage and the district trophy. For Coach King, that was the first hard pill. The next, breaking the news to his players.
And the girls' ears immediately kind of perked up. Like, we don't meet on a Sunday, and they said something has to be going on.
I thought somebody died.
My first thought was like Ellie said, who died, or like somebody got hurt really bad or something.
When Coach King told them about the loss, all the players agreed to challenge the outcome.
Of course, there's hesitation, there's grief, whatever, but we had played the game, and like there's nothing that could take away that hard work and all of our like teamwork and all of that. But we never had one in the first place, if that makes sense. So there was like a coming to terms with, oh, we didn't win, but there was never like, oh, but we can still keep the trophy, because like, why would we do that?
Their reasoning? Being true to their emotions while also answering to a higher call.
It didn't benefit us in the way that we would have been able to continue, but it did benefit us in showing the world that this was really the good thing to do and the thing that glorifies God most.
They've also learned to find humor in the heartbreak.
I also feel like the trophy just like wouldn't have been valuable if every time we saw it sitting on the shelf, we thought, oh wait, we actually lost that game.
Breaking its own rules, the state governing board for high school athletics granted their appeal. Just hours after the girls' decision, Coach King and his wife delivered the trophy to the opposing team.
Showed us, there are still good people in this world.
The story got picked up by CBS, their good deeds striking a chord covered by media around the world.
It's kind of like a running joke around our student body. It's like, oh, another day, another interview.
So what makes a team decide a win isn't a win, but in this case, an actual loss? Well, to get a better understanding, you'd have to come here, where learning for the girls isn't just purely academic, it's also about virtue.
This is the Academy of Classical Christian Studies in downtown Oklahoma City, where students start and end the day in prayer. Walking the halls, it looks and sounds like your typical school. Yet the Academy represents a growing movement called Classical Christian Education, a challenging 3-stage curriculum where the Bible, along with the traditions of ancient Greece and Rome, are used to teach and transform kids by learning about the world and its creator. The method is catching on.
Parents know what their calling is and their duty towards their children, and they see classical and Christian education as among the most effective partnerships, giving them memory, helping them be practiced in virtue, and baptizing their imagination into something true, good, beautiful, and eternal.
There is a part of me that wasn't surprised.
Casey and Sarah Shutt have 2 sons enrolled at the academy, and their daughter Cora, now a freshman in college, played ball as a Lady Griffin last season.
I mean, our daughter can kind of look back and tell us now that she's in college, like, these are the things I really appreciated. I'm thankful for this education, and that is a blessing as a parent.
While reports show these students outperform their peers in public and private schools, educators say this curriculum isn't designed simply to prepare students for college. It's to train them to be kingdom-minded.
It gives them kind of a higher target in life. Virtue is something that the school speaks of quite a bit.
Bringing lessons learned at home and in the classroom onto the basketball court, the team's fan base has grown.
I got to ask you, what's it been like for you to witness the response to the story?
I'm thankful the story's out there because I hope it's encouraging to other coaches or other teams out there that there's so many bigger life lessons than just wins and losses. Again, I never thought it would get to this point. Multiple social media messages that had come my way. Letters started to show up to the school, check donations just to the girls' basketball program.
We asked why they think the story's gone viral.
A culture whose favorite hashtag is winning needed a new story of what true winning is.
I think it resonates that, yeah, that's the right thing to do. And maybe if this happens in this little high school setting, maybe there's hope beyond in the political realm or in the business world or in all these other spheres of life.
For these students, it's about their family, friends, and mentors.
Growing up in the academy has given me almost like a golden standard of community that I want to hold to, like a standard that I will want to always work up to, or maybe even improve on.
Win or lose, setting an example for us all. John Jessup, CBN News, Oklahoma City.
Stay with us. More CBN NewsWatch right after this. Welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. Grammy-winning singer and songwriter Victory Boyd is known for her work with Kanye West's gospel album, Jesus is King, in 2019. She also created music with her brothers and sisters in a singing group. Today, she continues her solo work with her first holiday music project called Christmas Hymns. Ephraim Graham sat down with Victory to talk about the holiday music project and her free Christmas tour.
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
This is your very first full Christmas album?
Yes.
What took so long?
Long lay the world.
It's always been there, but I never did it exclusively as a Victory Christmas album. So, yeah, so I felt like it was time now.
I agree. What was the process like?
It was really a process of arriving at I am enough, me as a vessel, as an instrument, and all of the experience that has gone into me becoming who I am today. If I just take all of that and sing the songs I've always sung ever since childhood. And I don't need to add anything to make it spectacular. Like, the message is already powerful enough, and me as an instrument is already beautiful enough to present this in the most meaningful way.
Silent night, holy night.
These songs have stood the test of time. I mean, Silent Night, Oh Holy Night, like, they've been around for centuries. They're ancient songs. And so I'm tapping into something that has that transcends me. I went through memory lane, and I was recalling all of the different Christmas hymns that, you know, I sang throughout my lifetime, and it just was like finally recording something that has been like baking inside of me for a very long time.
Nice. And not only are you doing the album that's out, you're doing a tour in a very unique way.
Yes, yes.
What was the brainchild for this gift you're giving us?
Yes, so I just started this tour. It's called The Gift of Christmas. And the whole idea is that Christmas is all about giving and receiving gifts. But the true essence of these gifts and the true meaning of Christmas, they are spiritual gifts. And so I want us, in this Gift of Christmas concert, to also really think about giving what is our best, finest gift that we can give to Jesus. And, you know, he's not very much interested in our money and all of the carnal things that only have to do with the physical realm, but he's interested in our whole lives, like our heart, the fullness of that. And so I think of these shows as my gift to Jesus, like it's something extravagant that I can give him.
Victory's free tour, The Gift of Christmas, is in Virginia Beach this Saturday at Tabernacle Worship Center. To see what other cities will be next, go to victoryboy.com. You can get her new holiday album, Christmas Hymns, wherever you purchase your music. Well, that's it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can find more of our news programs on the CBN News Channel anytime or online with cbnnews.com. Also, tell us what you think about the stories you've seen by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. Talk to us on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. We hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.